Welcome everyone. Today I am working on the reformer and we're gonna do another workout in our abs series. So this one is really focused on abs. So it is not a full body reformer workout. We are going to use every piece of this reformer to work our abs. It's super intense. This is not an exercise program that you're gonna do with a new client. This is an exercise program you're gonna do with a client that is really focused on increasing the strength and the tightness of the midsection, and that is at an intermediate level. There are even one or two exercises that I would say are advanced. So of course, as always, you can take out or substitute exercises that might not meet the needs and level of you or your clients. So we're gonna get started right away, and I'm gonna be working with in the first exercise with the foot bar and the carriage. So I have the foot bar all the way up. I'm using the Marathon equipment, so I'm using one full tension spring. Those are marked with red, and they're the stronger springs. Then there's a blue spring, and that's the 50% tension spring. And then there's a white spring, which is a 25% tension spring. But for this particular exercise, I'm using just one full tension spring. Now you can go up or down with those springs, depending on the strength of your client. I'm gonna have my feet against the shoulder rest, and we're gonna do an exercise that's gonna turn into the long stretch. But we're gonna begin by going from a crouch to a plank. So I have my hands on the foot bar, and I take my feet against the shoulder rest, and I come back into this crouch position. I'm actually gonna position myself so my shoulders are above my hands. I push out into the plank and then come back into the crouch. I push out into the plank and come back into the crouch. I'm gonna do that about 8 to 10 times. So about 4 more times here. Press and come back in, and 2, press. Come back in, round the spine, and then lengthen the spine. One more time, round it and lengthen. From there, I'm gonna hold my body in that straight line, and I'm gonna press back and pull forward. Again, 8 to 10, inhale back and exhale to pull forward. Inhale, lengthen back, shoulders out of the ears, exhale forward. Go back as far as you can, stabilize the spine, and come forward. Let's do 4 more. Breathe in and exhale forward. We're gonna do 3 more. You should already be starting to feel this. We're doing more full body stuff in the beginning, and then we're gonna really isolate the abs. Come back and let's just do 1 more. Breathe in and exhale over. Whew, super challenging. From there, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and I'm gonna go into a down stretch prep. So for this one, I'm still gonna keep the springs on. This is kind of a mobility one now. So I'm gonna start with my feet against the shoulder rest, my spine flex, and my seat toward my feet, hands on the bar. I'm gonna lengthen my spine, and then I'm just gonna press out and stretch, and then I'm gonna flex all the way back in. So lengthen the spine first, then extend the knees and hips on the way back in. Just flex everything back to the start. This is kind of a break. Lengthen, extend, and then come back in. One more time. Lengthen the spine, extend the hips, and then come back in. That should feel really good. That's a little break for you. Now we go on to the next exercise. I'm gonna lower the foot bar down, and I'm gonna bring out the platform. I'm gonna keep 1 full tension spring on there, but you may wanna start with a half and then go to a full if that works, and you can go heavier if you want, but 1 spring is pretty challenging. This is a side plank series. So I'm gonna come down, let me just move the mic here. I'm gonna come down onto my forearm on the platform extender, and I'm gonna put my feet against the shoulder rest. Now, I've got my top foot in front and my bottom foot behind. I'm gonna start, and you can have your hand on the platform, your top hand on the platform to start. I'm gonna push out into this plank position. Now, ultimately, what I wanna be able to do is have my hand on my hip. I'm gonna come back in and set my hips down, and I press out into the side plank. I inhale, lower the hips as I bring the carriage in. I exhale, press the carriage out and lengthen. Inhale, come back in. Exhale, press back out and lengthen. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale to come in. Exhale to press out. 1 more time, and on this one, I'm gonna stay out there. So I hold this position here. Now, I'm gonna bring the carriage in by lifting the hips, and then press back out, draw the carriage back in. Press the carriage out, lift the hips to bring the carriage in, lower back down, and come back in. So think side bend. So I'm gonna press out. I'm gonna lift up, pulling the feet toward me, press back out, and come back in 2 more times. Press, this is super hard. Lift, really good on the obliques, and come back in 1 more time. Inhale out, exhale, lift, really fold up, come back down, and come all the way back in. All right, that was great. Let's flip over to the other side. Woo! All right, heating up in here. So from here, my hip is down, top foot is forward, bottom foot is back. You can say I'm sitting on my hip. From there, I can use my hand for the first one just to get my bearings straight. Make sure my feet are in the right spot, and then I can take my hand and place it right here on my hip. Come back in, breathe in. Exhale, press out into that side plank. Inhale, come back in. This is really great for the oblique system. Press out and come back in. Let's do that 2 more times. Head in line with your spine. Press and come back in 1 more time. Press. Now hold it out there. Lift your hips, lower your head, pull the carriage in, then take it back out and bend it back in. Press out and lift up, lower down and come back in. Press away, lift up, side bend, back out and come back in. Let's do that again. Press and lift, lower. You got 1 more here and press. Woo, really feeling those obliques. Lift, lower and come back in. Oh, that was great. All right, from there, we're gonna move on now and I'm gonna go into a little bit of the mid-back series. So I'm gonna take the platform off to the side. I'm gonna bring my foot bar up for a second here. And I'm gonna keep that full tension spring on. You can go anywhere from 1 full tension to 2 full tension springs. 1 is gonna be enough for me with all the other ab stuff that we're doing. And I'm gonna come down onto the carriage here. So have straps ready. Come right down onto your back. From here, it's gonna be really light for my arms, but remember, I'm focusing on the core here. Strap in each hand, and then I'm gonna bring my legs into tabletop. I'm gonna start on an inhale, and then as I exhale, I'm gonna lengthen the arms. Now don't lock them out here. Keep a slight bend in them and come up into your kind of hundreds position. And then come back down. And again, exhale, come up, and then come back down. Make sure you're in the center of the carriage here. And again, exhale, flex the torso, come up, and lower down. Now I'm gonna add my legs. So I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna reach the legs out as low as I can stabilize, and then come back in. Exhale, reach away. Inhale to come back in. 2 more, exhale, reach away, and come back in. 1 more time, reach it out there, and hold it. Then I lift the arms up, and pull them down. 5, up, and pull them down. 4, lift, and pull them down. 3, arms move, torso doesn't. 2, and 1. Now the arms stay, fingers pointing above the foot bar, and now my torso moves for 5, and exhale, 4, and 3. I'm using my abs to lift me. I'm not pressing with my arms. My arms are coming with me. And then I lift up, and I reach toward the corner of the ceiling. 5, exhale, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Then I go right to the ceiling, and 5, and exhale, 4, woohoo, and 3, and exhale, 2, 1 more time, reach, and lower down. Oh my gosh, that is tough. All right, come on up. From there, we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna go into, let's see what I have next, a little teaser work here. So I'm gonna take the foot bar and get it out of the way. I'm still sticking with that 1 full tension spring, but I'm gonna shorten my straps here so I have a little more room to work with. And this is the reverse teaser with some bicep curls. So I'm gonna fold this over. Hey guys, before we continue the workout, I just want to tell you about John Garey TV. On John Garey TV, you'll see workouts like this without any ads or any interruptions. We have literally thousands of workouts on John Garey TV. We've got mat workouts, reformer workouts, all kinds of workouts. And we have lots of different subscriptions so you can find the one that's perfect for you. If you check out our link above, you'll see that your subscription is 50% off your first month. I hope you'll join me over on John Garey TV, and now let's get back to work. Like that, and hook them. or just shorten your straps if that's easier for you to do. And I'm gonna shimmy forward. So I'm really scooting my seat toward the shoulder rest there. And I'm gonna start with my feet right on the headrest. The headrest can be down in the flat position. From here, I start with my bicep curl as I roll down onto the carriage. Then I'm gonna extend back over, but I wanna adjust myself. First one's kind of a trial run. Make sure that your shoulder blades are just off the end. Guys, or girls, I should say, or guys, if you have long hair, you wanna get it out of the way so it doesn't get caught up in the springs here. Make sure you're in the center. And now that I have the right position with my shoulder blades coming off the edge of that carriage, I can roll down, exhale. And then I can inhale as I extend the spine and reach. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. And then come all the way through and up. First one does anyway. Now it's gonna start to be a little bit more work. I'm gonna lift my legs up. Exhale, roll down, bicep curl, and extend. And then come forward and up. Now I can stretch the legs out. Exhale, down. Now don't rest them on the shoulder rest. Just keep them just above the shoulder rest. And again, exhale, flex. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. And come back up. 2 more. Roll down and reach. Come forward and up. 1 more time. Roll down and reach. Forward and up. All right. From there, I'm gonna come right up into a kneeling position. Now I'm doing an advanced exercise called the thigh stretch. For this exercise, I'm gonna be using my body weight against the spring resistance. So I wanna have 3 full tension springs on. Sounds like a lot, but it's gotta hold your body up. From here, I'm hanging onto the hardware and I have my knees against the shoulder rest. Guys, use a spotter for this. This is a really tricky exercise. From here, my body stays in one straight line. I hinge back. So I know we're working abdominals. You'll see in the next part how this is kind of an active recovery. I'm working my glutes, my hamstrings, and my spinal extensors, and that's giving me an active recovery on those abdominals. So I'm gonna hinge back, and then I'm gonna flex the elbow slightly, drop the shoulders back, and extend. Then I straighten everything out and come back up. So it's an inhale, hinge back, and exhale, extend. Let everything stretch. You're gonna get more work out of your abs if you give them a little recovery in between really hard exercises. This is a really hard exercise as well, but it's more lengthening. And then stretch, and then forward, and up. I'm gonna do that 1 more time. Hinge back, extend, straighten, and come up. Oh, that was great. Okay, now I can lengthen these straps back out. I'm gonna come into a side kneeling position here. And I actually want the back strap, and I definitely don't want 3 springs. So I'm gonna go back down to my 1 full tension spring. My knees are about shoulder distance apart here, and I'm gonna hold a strap, back strap, in the hand closest to it, lace my fingers together, and a little rotation work through the spine. Good oblique work. Exhale, rotate, inhale, return. Exhale, rotate, and come back, and turn. Now I'm getting my rib cage to turn above my hips and trying to keep the hips still. 3 more, and come back. 2 more, and back. 1 more time. Exhale, rotate, and come back. Now I'm gonna lose that strap, grab the opposite strap, so the front strap now, in that same hand reaching for my thigh here, and then I'm gonna stretch to the carriage and come back. Exhale, reach, punch over, and come back. So use those obliques and pull yourself over. 3, and come back up. Exhale, press 4, and bring it back up. Let's do that again. Press right over 5, and up, and exhale, press over 6, and come up, and right over there, press 7. We're going for 10, and reach 8, whew, and over 9, and 1 more time, press right over there, reach, and come up. So if you notice, I am really moving that spine in all directions. Flexion, I've added some extension, and then I did now rotation, holding the back strap for this one. So you get a little bit different line of pull. Rotation, and then I'm gonna add lateral flexion, side flexion. 2, and come back. Rotate, pull with your abs, not your arms. Really focus on the glute engagement here to keep the hips really still. Rotate through, and again, exhale, pull through, and back. Good, 2 more, pull, and back, and one more. Pull right across and back. Beautiful. From there, I'm gonna reach for the front strap, hold it in my hand, and side bend. Reach over, punch over, 1, and come back. And exhale, 2. Reach for that carriage. 3, make sure you're breathing, and pull this rib toward the hip on that side. And again, press, and 5 more. Exhale, 5, reach right over. Use those abs. Exhale, 4. Now lengthen that side. Shorten it. 3 and 2. One more time here. Press it right over. Reach and come back. All right, let's take that strap and place it down. Step off the reformer. Now we're gonna go into a really challenging standing series. So what I'm gonna do is take the springs off. Now remember, the carriage moves really freely without those, so be careful. And I'm gonna step behind the carriage, and I'm gonna bring that carriage back toward me, and using the back frame here. You can stand on the floor, but I like the frame. It gives me really good range. And what I'm gonna do is kind of go into a more high half toe position, and I take my hands and place them right on the sides of the carriage near the end, and I'm gonna take my spine and flex it. From there, I start rolling the carriage out and lengthening into my plank position, and then I start from my head to my tail and flex back up. Lengthen all the way out, hips lengthen, spine lengthens, woo, and pull it back in. So 0 springs means I have to really control it in both directions. I'm gonna do one more like this. Lengthen all the way out through, and then pull it back. All right. So now, bring that carriage forward. I'm gonna go with the lightest spring. So what I'm gonna do, if you take a look here, I'm actually gonna bring the stopper and gear bar back. I'm gonna go in stopper position 4, gear bar position 3. That'll give me very little tension on the spring, and it starts the carriage further back, so I'm getting even less tension on the spring. That way, I can bring that carriage back with me. Now I got a little bit of tension on there. The further you pull it, the more tension you get. Start in that same position. Lengthen out into your plank. And then pull back in. Now you're working to pull that carriage in. You're controlling it on the way home. Exhale, pull. Changes the dynamic of the exercise. Lengthen back out. And exhale, pull it in. And lengthen back out. We're gonna do 4 more. Exhale, pull it in, flex. Did I say 4? I meant 1. And lengthen out and exhale, pull it and drop your head. Flex and lengthen out. We've got 2 more. Woo! Pull it in, ribs to hips, and lengthen back out. Oh my goodness. And 1 more. Now on this one, we're gonna release just a little bit. Now increase the ab connection. Pulling in 4. And exhale, 3. Deepen the ab connection, 2. Oh my goodness, 1 more, 1. Now slowly control it. Lengthen back out. Oh my goodness. Step forward so you can safely get out of that contraption. All right, so from there, I'm gonna move this back. I'm gonna take my stopper and gear bar back to where I normally have it for footwork. And I'm gonna go to 1 full tension spring. And now I'm gonna take the platform and place it back on. Now, this next part can be done from your hands or from your forearms. I'm gonna show it to you from your forearms. So from here, I have my knees bent. I'm gonna actually push the carriage out, and I'm gonna go into a plank position. Now, I'm gonna pike up, hinge up. This feels really good. Press back out, drop my thighs down. Now, I'm not doing very much here, but lowering my pelvis below the level of the carriage and pulling my shoulders back and down. So I'm getting this dynamic recovery stretch. Be careful, draw the abdominals in first. Strong glutes as you press into your plank, and then pike, lift up. Press back out. Now slowly lower the thighs down. Draw the carriage in by lifting the sternum, lowering the hips. Draw the scapula back and down. Press back out. Lift up, pike. Inhale. Drop the thighs. Drop the hips. Pull the shoulders down and back. Press out 1 more time. Pike up. Lift. Press back out. Drop the thighs. Pull everything back. Now from here, just bend your knees, take your seat back toward your feet and go back into a shell stretch, hollow out through the abs, and just take a few breaths. Now take your hands over to one corner of the reformer, take your hips off to the opposite side, come through the center and do that same thing on the other side, and then come to the center and have a seat. Woo! Quick and dynamic. I hope you enjoyed this workout in our ab series, and I hope to see you again soon. I'm gonna go take a break. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Bye. Hey everybody, thank you so much for working out with me today. I hope that you enjoyed that workout. And if you did, I hope that you will join us over on John Garey TV. John Garey TV has over 1,000 workouts that include reformer, Pilates mat, and fitness. We are your at-home Pilates and fitness studio. Right now, if you sign up, you'll get 50% off your first month. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a reformer. If you've got a mat, you can have a mat membership. If you've got some fitness gear, you can have a mat and fitness membership. Or if you've got a reformer, you can have an all-access membership. We've got you covered. So I hope you'll join us over on johngareytv.com today.